I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. My parents took me to the Science Center here in Seattle, and they have that little Mercury space capsule mock-up. And I saw that when I was about 4 years old, and I decided I wanted to be an astronaut. And I was just fascinated with aviation and space exploration, really all the way up into high school. I applied to the Air Force Academy. I had my nomination, and then at sort of the last minute decided I really couldn't do 10 years in the military. My parents were big anti-nuclear peace activists, and it just it felt like a bad fit. So I decided not to pursue that, and I started college as an astronomy major, and then shifted to history. So long answer, but yeah, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. But the deal I made with myself when I didn't go to the Air Force Academy was that I would get my pilot's license as soon as I could. And so after I finished my clerkships, I took about 4 months off from work and got my pilot's license. And I've been flying since 2001. My first job was at Mazatlan Mexican restaurant in Puyallup as a busboy. I remember, how invisible you are as a busboy. You're going around, you're cleaning up people's tables and bringing them, bowls of salsa and chips, and they just look right through you. And working in a Mexican restaurant was kind of funny too, because everyone assumed that I couldn't speak English, so they would speak to you really slowly or try to speak Spanish to you. But yeah, that was my first job. You work hard as a busboy for not very much money. I'm going to say it's sort of past and present a little bit, but the justice I worked for, John Paul Stevens, is just someone who I admire so deeply as a judge and as a lawyer, but also as a human being. He's just one of those fixed points in my mind of sort of the way to be, because he was so brilliant but also really down to earth and kind to everyone and humble. So it's a standard that I can always turn to. I was really just impressed by the warmth of the faculty. Everyone was just extremely nice, but rigorous and smart, but very, very generous and nice. So my favorite podcast is the Brock and Salk Seattle Sports podcast. It helps keep me connected to Seattle sports, and I played Little League baseball with Brock's older brother. I go running with my lab. We go on a 5-mile run every morning. Got to tire him out. There's this great app that I use. It's for flying, but it's a weather app called Weather Spork, and that is definitely my favorite. It does amazing things and kind of forecasts where the clouds are going to be. One of the real challenges with flying is knowing where the tops of the clouds are. You can see where the bottoms are, but you don't know how thick they are. And this app uses some kind of algorithm to try to calculate where the cloud tops are. So I get sucked into that app. When I'm planning a trip, I'll be staring at it, several times an hour as the forecast evolves. That's kind of a boring answer, but I geek out on this weather app. Oh well, we have a lot of that. So I have a brother who's a federal prosecutor down in Tacoma. So he's the other lawyer in our family, and then a younger brother who's a pediatric cardiologist down in Tacoma as well. And so then we get into the whole law versus medicine thing. My dad's a pediatrician, so he obviously is on the side of my doctor brother. Of course, when they have a legal problem, they don't hesitate to pick up the phone. He'll definitely get an MVP. He's going to get the MVP. Russell Wilson is overdue. He'll definitely win the MVP this year.